Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Jerry Seasting starts for Danny Ainge, and Dennis Johnson back in the lineup now. And for the 76ers, Roy Hinson joined by Charles Barkley, Tim McCormick, Dr. J back in the lineup again, and Steve Coulter starting for Maurice Cheeks. And Billy, he's done a good job in that guard position.
Steve Coulter has come in after being traded from Chicago. In the last several games, played outstanding basketball. I think a big factor for him is he's comfortable now. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder, and he doesn't have that feeling there's someone there waiting to come in if he makes a mistake.
Daryl Garrettson and Bruce Alexander are the officials, and we're underway.
Jump ball violation against the Celtics.
Jump ball violation against Robert Parrish, and so Julius Erving will inbound the ball now for the 76ers.
It'd be interesting early, Vern, to see if Philadelphia looks to go inside to McCormick with Larry Bird matched up against him.
This is Barkley. Erving guarded by Dennis Johnson. Coulter takes the first shot of the game, doesn't get it. McCormick can't control the rebound.
Blue ball foul, Roy Hinson. That's his first.
And the foul is on Roy Hinson.
And that's the philosophy, though, of K.C. Jones and the Celtics. They're going to force the 76ers to beat them from the perimeter.
Johnson gets the screen from Parrish. Parrish up, no good. Rebound Barkley, first of the game. Just underway from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. No score thus far. Julius Erving needs to average 17.1 points per game over the last 8 to become the third man to score more than 30,000. There's Hinson and Parrish with the rebound for Boston. Bird fakes the skip pass.
You know, when Larry Bird, usually in early games, he gets a feeling for what the Celtics need. Just outstanding move by Kevin McHale. When Larry Bird will read, does this team need me to rebound today offensively or defensively? Do they need me to score? And he just does whatever is necessary for the Celtics.
2-0 Boston. Barkley. That's good.
You know, you look at Charles Barkley right there, you have to remember, Dennis Johnson right there playing against him, who's a guard, is a half an inch bigger than Charles. Charles is only 6'4½". Look at that body control he has inside.
#1 rebounder in the NBA. Three-pointer is good. And it's a 3-2 Philadelphia lead as K.C. Jones looks on. Barkley on Bird. Quickly, Coulter comes over to help on Parrish. They go back to Seasting for the open jumper, and Bird to the rebound, lays it off to McHale. 2 more.
You know, you watch Larry Bird play, and you have to believe he has another set of eyes. You know, because he goes up, gets that rebound, and still has that court awareness of knowing where Kevin McHale is.
4-3, Boston leads early on.
Now we see the Celtics double-teaming Barkley. They're not going to let him beat them.
Hinson can't get the shot off, and Johnson, transition game now. Nice pass to Seasting in the corner. Back to Larry Bird. And McCormick comes down with the carom for Philadelphia.
Now Philadelphia, if they're going to beat the Celtics today, really have to capitalize on their quickness.
Hinson short with a shot.
You know, Roy Hinson was traded. Philadelphia got him through a trade for the #1 pick, who turned out to be Brad Doherty from Cleveland. And there's Cliff Robinson coming in because Hinson's picked up his second foul. But Hinson's been very up and down this year for the 76ers. And that inconsistency, I think, has bothered Matty Gukas quite a bit.
Johnson underneath, the foul on Coulter. His first. Coulter picked up from Chicago for Sadale Threet earlier in the year. Bird, McHale, and Robinson Robinson with a rebound. Robinson has been injured with an eye problem this year. Iritis, it's called. Takes the jumper, hits it.
Well, Cliff Robinson has that offensive ability.
Now Bird takes the ball away. That's good.
Yeah, that was almost like Larry Bird said, well, I gave you guys the good shots and you missed them. I'm just going to shoot it myself.
Erving now guarded by Bird.
Yeah, they're double teaming down low.
There's Erving along the baseline. First two.
Excellent ball movement by the 76ers. That's what you have to do, Vern. We see the 76ers are doing the same thing down low. They're going to double team, and the Celtics are doing it, and you must make that extra pass.
McCormick gets the rebound off of Bird's missed shot. Here's Julius Erving. Erving was 2 of 12 in a loss in New Jersey the other night. Friday night, scored only 6 points in that game. Robinson. McCormick. He's played well for them, hasn't he?
If they didn't have Tim McCormick, they would not get to the playoffs. He was traded to, they got him from Seattle in a trade for Clem Johnson.
That's a clean block by Steve Coulter, and here come the 76ers. Most recent meeting between these two was a week ago today, and Boston won that 118 to 100. Erving away from Johnson, gets it, he's got 4.
You know, I was fortunate to coach Julius for 8 years, and you mentioned his poor performance against New Jersey. He is such a fierce competitor, you know, into the playoffs. He thinks a year older. He's very concerned about seeing teams like Detroit and Atlanta and Milwaukee. He feels that these teams don't have the same fear of the Celtics as they did in the past, so that he knows that his team has got to be not only physically healthy, but mentally ready for the playoffs.
McHale's soft jumper falls.
There's no one in the league that's going to stop Kevin McHale one-on-one. You must make adjustments defensively, and you have to change your look. Sometimes you got to front him. Sometimes you got to double team him. Sometimes you got to just pray a lot.
Robinson turnaround jumper is good. So he's given the 76ers a lift off the bench in place of Roy Hinson. Johnson guarded by Julius Erving. Now they'll try a 2-man game on the right side.
That's right, just isolating on Barkley.
That's kicked. It'll be Boston's to inbound.
Charles Barkley is a very interesting guy because he wants to play against a guy like Larry Bird. The people that usually hurt him defensively are the players that don't have the reputation. Now today he is just, you'll see him all over Larry Bird, and everything that Larry earns offensively he's going to have to work for.
Now Parrish gets Robinson off balance. Rebound Bird. Taken away by Barkley. 3-on-2 break. Robinson short with a shot. Barkley puts it up and in. Larry Bird back to Seasting. Underneath the Parrish, low post, turnaround jumper is not there. Boston's a cold shooting team here in the first quarter.
And they're only getting one shot.
15-8 Philadelphia lead. Watch the transition game for the 76ers now as they get the 3-on-2 break.
There's the quickness of Charles Barkley. Now he weighs around 255, and I don't know how they kept him out of the football program down at the University of Auburn.
What did you tell me he weighed when you drafted him?
When we drafted him, Charles Barkley weighed 284. You know what he can do? Charles Barkley can stand under the basket on 1 foot and dunk the basketball at 6'4½".
And you couldn't?
I couldn't dunk it with 2 feet on the ground. With a trampoline underneath me.
McCormick gets them both. 17-8 Philadelphia lead.
Now Boston has got to get a few more people involved with the offense right now.
Johnson saves the errant Bird pass. Gets it back, takes the jumper just inside 3-point range. Here comes Barkley on the run, 3-on-1.
There's the quickness of the 76ers. They have to get up and down the court and beat the Celtics, who do not get back well defensively as a team.
19-8. McHale gets 2 back. McHale's got 8 points, averaging 26 points this year per game. Now they've moved McCormick way out Underneath, guarded now by Parrish. Coulter. Good pass from McCormick.
That's the shot you have to hit if you're going to beat the Celtics. They're going to give that shot all day to the 76ers.
21-10.
We see the 76ers are really alive and active defensively.
Parrish over Robinson gets two more, or two rather. That's his first basket of the game.
You know, we hear so much about Kevin McHale and Larry Bird on this ball club, but if Parrish is not playing well, they don't succeed. He is the key to this basketball team. You don't win in the NBA unless you have outstanding pivot play.
Barkley takes McHale to the basket, short with a shot, gets his rebound, puts it in. Boy, he really is amazing.
It almost appeared that he passed the ball to himself off the glass, knowing he couldn't make that shot.
Barkley's got 7, 23-12 is the lead. We've got 4:15 to go, first quarter. Bird for two.
Up until this point, it just appears that the Celtics are a little sluggish, either mentally or physically, out there on the court.
Boston has won 2 in a row. Overtime went over Detroit on Friday. McCormick's shot is blocked. Erving. That'll be Philadelphia's to inbound.
Now, this is a very difficult time of the year for Casey Jones because, as we saw,
McCormick gets it.
yeah, as we saw earlier in the graphic, that they're 4 games ahead of Atlanta. They can't catch LA for the best record. To keep these guys motivated and keep them going in the direction for the playoffs, because these guys know what it's all about. They know that the playoffs are the key for them, that they're trying to defend that title and be the first team in almost 20 years to win back-to-back championships.
How did you handle those kind of circumstances?
Well, I know what Casey's doing.
Oh, damn it.
Just a great pass and great shot by Larry Bird. But what Casey Jones is doing is he's cut their practice time down. He's just concentrating on 1 or 2 things when they go to practice to try and keep them going in the right direction to prepare for the playoffs.
Shot clock now at 7. Underneath to Erving. Gets the bounce. Erving has got 8. 27-16 with under 3 minutes to go first quarter. Seasting from McHale. That's off balance. Bird to the follow.
We see the same philosophy defensively by both teams. Let's not allow the team to beat us from the inside, force the perimeter shot. The big difference, Coulter has hit the jump shot. Seastings has not been able to hit the shot so far.
Illegal defense. If we didn't have to go to a commercial, that would give you 2 minutes to explain what that's all about. But fortunately for you,
Philosophy of the 76ers defensively, and we'll watch Julius Erving double teaming down, but watch Steve Coulter with the circle around him and why Jerry Seastings gets that open shot. Pass inside, Erving double teaming, Coulter rotating, and here's the open shot right there for Jerry Seastings, and he didn't convert.
Gukas has to be pleased with the 60% effort of his team. 12 of 20 for Philadelphia in the first quarter. The Celtics 9 of 18. And from the backcourt position, Boston, no points so far. They have been out-rebounded 10-5 thus far. And Cliff Robinson getting ready to inbound with 2:29 to go first quarter. 27-18 for Lundquist, Bill Cunningham here in Philadelphia. Illegal! Somebody hollering it's illegal. Robinson gets the shot to fall.
That's quite a one-on-one move there. And also, we saw the Celtics no help defensively. You know, it's the 60% isn't as much as, you know, you can play a team that gets off and they're shooting very well. But right now, the Celtics are a little lethargic out there defensively. There's the double team.
McHale back to Johnson, quickly over to Seasting. Keep in mind that Danny Ainge is home with the flu. Here's Bird. Sees McHale for the open shot.
And so far, it's been the McHale-Bird show offensively for the Celtics.
10 of the 20 Boston points have come from McHale, and 8 have come from Bird. Parrish has the only other basket. Robinson guarded by Bird. Parrish with the rebound.
That was a bad shot. You saw the double team coming. Should have swung the basketball.
29-20, 1:20 to go first quarter. Bird guarded again by Barkley.
This is such a tough play because as a coach, you don't know, should I double Bird because he passes the ball so well, or do we just play matchup one-on-one against him?
McCormick passes on the shot, goes back to Erving, they'll give it go, and takes it and hits it.
Oh, we've seen McCormick now driving to the hoop, hitting the jump shot, and now posting up. It's amazing what some playing time will do for some players.
Yeah. Well, look underneath the McHale, rather. And he'll go.
Personal foul, Julius Erving, his first team over the limit.
Foul is on Erving.
For the Celtics.
Now the first substitution for Boston, number 50, Greg Kite comes in, and he'll give Robert Parrish a rest. David Wingate comes off the bench. What a find he has been for the 76ers this year.
It just says something about the Georgetown program, too, because he came in, he knows how to play defensively. He's a very aggressive player, and because of that, he's been able to fit in a little quicker than the 76ers are anticipated for this ball club.
And McHale, who's hitting better than 80% of his free throw shots, gets them both. And McHale has 12 points. Coulter, switch made by the Celtics, rather. Now Robinson hits it again. He's got 8 points coming off the bench, replacing Roy Hinson, who was ineffective early on. We're in the final 20 seconds of the first quarter. 33-22. Shot clock at 12. Now they double down on Bird. There's Seasting. He passes on the open shot, drives the lane and puts it up.
Well, you could see right there, even though Jerry Seastings made that shot, he does not have the confidence. And here with 2 seconds to go, Barkley.
Offensive foul, Bill. That's a bemused look on Matty Kukoc' face. Johnson. The Celtics and the 76ers. Boston has a 3-2 edge, but they have lost both games here in the Spectrum. Vern Lundquist along with Bill Cunningham. Fast break points thus far. 8 for Philadelphia and 2 for Boston.
And Philadelphia has got to keep that advantage. You know, the Celtics are a year older. They do not look to run as much as they did in the past. And a couple reasons, I think, for that. Number one, I think this year they look over there. There's no Bill Walton. Their bench has not been as productive as that it has been in last year. And I think the players realize that, you know, we're going to have to pace ourselves a little bit more, and we have to play more minutes. So they don't look to get out and run in the same fashion they did last year.
Connor Henry is into the lineup now, joining Seasting in the backcourt. He's got the ball, number 43, out of Cal Santa Barbara. There's the steal from Robinson. Gets it back, puts it up and in. That's 10 fast break points now for the 76ers. Henry guarded by David Wingate. Celtics go with Kite, Henry, Seasting, Bird, and Parrish. Larry Bird gets his own rebound.
He is just such a phenomenal player. You know, he's a player, he's a coach's dream, Larry Bird. He's someone that I'm sure everybody that's ever coached at any level would love to have the opportunity to coach.
Seasting gets the shot off Robinson's missed attempt. Bird puts it up again. Roy Hinson back in the lineup with the 76ers. He gets the rebound. Cliff Robinson. Back to Wingate. Pump fake. Stolen by Seasting. Boston will choose not to run. Greg Kite gets a a rare two.
With the left-handed hook. Greg Kite's going to have to perform for them when they get to the playoffs. At some point, he's going to have to come in and really contribute with the absence of Bill Walton.
Shot clock has 8.
There's the double team. Now he's got to find the open man.
3 on the shot clock, and Robinson gets the shot away. Rebound Connor Henry for the Celtics.
Barkley just threw Kite to the floor.
Connor Henry, he electrified the Garden crowd in Boston back in January when he hit his first 3 against Milwaukee. Barkley all the way, draws a foul from Kite. Watch out.
Well, you know, Charles Barkley had a few words about his own teammates after their last ball game against the Celtics. He said we gave up mentally in that ball game. And we see that right there, a little contact, and Charles letting Kite know that he's going to be after him. And this is what happens after, up, bang, right in the face.
Double foul is called on Kite and Barkley. Now, the first replay you saw was what had happened the previous time down the floor. The second replay was what just took place.
Now, the officials, Daryl Garrison and Bruce Alexander, will have to get control of this game right now. Daryl Garrison's letting the players know, number one, what the call was, but number two, we're just not going to tolerate anything. We don't need any fights out here on this court. Barkley going to the hoop, and watch him push Kite right in the face. Now, that's uncalled for by Charles Barkley. And if anything, Charles Barkley should get a technical foul or something for doing, you know, acting in that fashion.
We've got a timeout, and we'll get this straightened out as to who is shooting what and who was called. Right? Greg Kite was called for the personal foul, and then Barkley called for the punching foul. So we'll shoot the Philadelphia free throws first, then we'll shoot the Boston free throws, and the Celtics will retain possession.
Well, that was an excellent call by Daryl Garrison, you know, to make sure that he's keeping control of the game. That was just uncalled for, as I said, by Charles Barkley.
Well, it underscores what we said at the top of the show. Maybe regular season, but by golly, the rivalry does remain intense between these two.
Yeah, I remember when I came out of college and was drafted by the 76ers, and the first game I was involved with against the Celtics, I didn't know anything about this rivalry, but boy, I found out very quickly. It took around 2 or 3 minutes into the ball game.
As Barkley gets the first. Weren't you also telling me that you played guard for one game against the Boston Celtics?
Against Casey Jones in an exhibition game, and that was the last time I played guard, I might add.
Barkley gets 1 out of 2. And then Larry Bird will get a rest now. Sam Vincent has come into the lineup.
Now we'll see how this bench of the Celtics responds, because the only starter in there right now for this ball club is Robert Parrish. So this is a very critical time for the Celtic ball club.
They go with Darren Day, Connor Henry, Sam Vincent, Greg Kite, and Robert Parrish. Now, a week ago, Fred Roberts came in and started the game up in Boston, and this Boston bench, which has been so much maligned, had a 57-point afternoon in defeating Philadelphia 118-100. Connor Henry. Even I've learned you don't leave your feet.
That's right.
You're teaching me well, Coach. And David Wingate went flying through the air. 9:25 to go first half. Travel. Don't forget, it's an NBA doubleheader on CBS. Dick Stockton, Tommy Heinsohn out of McNichols Arena in Denver this afternoon as the Lakers play Denver, and that very well might be the first-round matchup in the Western Conference playoffs.
And a team that's on a roll, the Lakers. The thing that impresses me about them so far this year is the intensity that they've been able to maintain through the season.
Connor Henry looks underneath for Parrish. He's guarded by Robinson. Goes over him short. Robinson and Dr. J gets the rebound now for Philadelphia. 36-31. Philadelphia has led since the opening moments of the game. Erving has 6. And Kite gets the rebound.
Well, you want to force Doc to shoot that jump shot fading away to his left. But also what we've seen the last few minutes is the tempo of the game is changing. It's more in the liking of the Celtics, the half-court ball game, which the 76ers are not as good as the Celtics at.
Darren Day has it. Baseline feed to Vincent. And that'll be Boston's inbound substitution now. Andrew Toney comes into the lineup for the 76ers, replacing Steve Goldman.
At one time, they used to call Andrew Toney the Boston Strangler. But since Andrew has had the problems with his feet, he has just not performed at the level he's been used to performing against these Celtics.
And Robert Parrish, 5 seconds.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Connor Henry for 3. Dump, long rebound. Wingate controls for Philadelphia. Almost traveled, misses a teammate. Didn't see he had Robinson open left side.
I think you're right, Vern. He did carry that ball or travel or both in that situation, but the official did not see it.
Second, David Wingate.
Wingate goes to the line where he's hitting 73% of his free throws this year. Tim McCormick back into the lineup. He'll give Cliff Robinson a rest. For the 76ers now have Hinson, Erving, Toney, Wingate, and McCormick in the lineup.
This is a rare rest for Charles Barkley. The last several weeks, he's been playing close to 45 minutes a ball game.
Sam Vincent, younger brother of Jay, now with the Washington Bullets. Henry rejected by Hinson.
Great block by Hinson, but it's when you're a shot blocker, what you try to do, though, is keep the ball in play.
Bird with a follow-away over McCormick. The tip from Kevin McHale.
Well, that was created because of the switch. McCormick had to step out on Bird. Julius Erving had to play against McHale, and McHale got that good inside position.
Largest lead of the game was 11 for Philadelphia. It's now down to 5.
And the simple reason is the tempo.
Foul is called on Darren Day.
Now watch Roy Hinson right there at the bottom of your screen block this shot. Now if Roy Hinson just got a piece of it, kept it in play, for some reason it always seems that when a shot is blocked, the defensive team usually picks it up, and that leads to a quick fast break.
Wait for the release.
Hinson gets them both. 40-33 with 7:40 to go first half. Wingate. Foul, Sam Vincent.
But that's not a bad foul, because it's a foul where he's picking up aggressively defensively, and the 76ers have to do that to try and create some turnovers and force the Celtics out on the court offensively.
That sounded bad.
Well, you know, that's an NBA trick. You know, when you drive to the basket, and if you think you're getting fouled, you let out, there's some noise to draw the attention of the official to it.
Did you coach that?
Didn't have to. No. I tell you, well, you'll hear a lot of grunts out here today.
Wait for the release.
Sam Vincent connects. It's 40-35, 7:24 to go first half. Andrew Toney, nice strong move.
Well, his feet look pretty good on that move.
His first basket. Rebound, Connor Henry. Tries to go by McCormick and does.
Boy, Connor Henry has come in and given this Celtic team quite a lift.
Now Andrew Toney guarded by Vincent. 42-37, 6:50 mark in the first half. Off the foot of Vincent, that'll be Philadelphia's ball.
76ers call.
Time has been called. Dead ball, television timeout. And
Nuggets back in the right direction.
yeah, they played well the last couple of weeks. 42-37 our score. Philadelphia has led throughout. Led by as many as 11 at one point underneath to Erving. He's fronted by Darren Day. Now Toney.
Well, I can tell you from experience, Andrew is ready today. I don't know what the problem is with his feet, but I can just see his quickness, and in his eyes, he's ready to go. And I'm sure Matty Kukas is very pleased to see this.
Personal foul, Julius Erving.
Julius Erving picks up his second foul. Again, he needs to average 17 points over the final games of regular season to become only the third player to hit 30,000 in his pro career. Bird not there. Wingate pulls up. Now Bird on the doctor. This may be the last time they play.
Oh. That's quite a move with his left, because that's what you're trying to do. When you in professional basketball, the one thing you do is you try to take away the strengths of a player. Now you're playing Julius Erving, you want to force him to go to his left and do exactly what Larry Bird made him do. That was a foul on Tim McCormick.
That's his first.
Kevin McHale on the line, shooting 2.
Watch this matchup.
You know, there's such great respect for each other.
McHale. Here's a guy, 6'10". He's hitting 60%, 61% from the field, 83% free throw line.
And he's improved every year. You know, his first year in the NBA, he didn't shoot 70% from the foul line. And we see he just seems to get better and better as a basketball player.
Andrew Toney looks underneath McCormick. Nice bump fake. Vincent draws the foul, his first.
Andrew Toney shooting 2.
That's a very difficult matchup for Sam Vincent. He's giving up a few inches, and Andrew is a much stronger player. And if he's in a one-on-one situation, he's going to have a tough time containing Andrew. That's why I would expect Dennis Johnson to come in, but Dennis is trying to get over that sore right shoulder. So I wonder how much he will play today for KC.
Vincent in there now, guarded by Wingate.
You notice so far the offense of the Celtics, either the ball's in Larry Bird's hand or Kevin McHale's every time down the court.
There's the pick and roll. Bird takes the shot, though, and hits it.
That's just simply good coaching. You know, you put the ball in the hands of a Larry Bird, you know something good's going to happen out of it. You're going to get a good shot either by Larry or by one of his teammates.
Bird has 12, McHale has 16. Wingate, lean-in shot, and Bird with a quick outlet pass to Vincent. Now Connor Henry hasn't hit one for free yet. Erving with a rebound on Vincent's missed shot. 48-41, Philadelphia leads. Connor Henry guilty of the foul this time. Steve Coulter coming back into the lineup now for Philadelphia, number 14.
Andrew Toney shooting 2.
And Toney back at the line to shoot a couple. So Toney and Coulter in the backcourt. Hinson, McCormick, Dr. J. There's that right shoulder of Dennis Johnson.
You know, that's got to be the #1 concern for Casey Jones, is having his team healthy. If they are not healthy, you know, excluding Bill Walton's situation, they're not going to be able to repeat as champions. If they are healthy, you know, they do have that chance to win a championship.
Larry Larry Bird now with 14 points.
And if they do, that's the man that's going to lead them to it. You know, Johnny Most was telling me, the announcer for the Celtics, Larry's trying to lose weight now. He feels that if he loses a couple pounds, he'll be even quicker for the playoffs.
Bird with another rebound. Darren Day pulls up. McHale. 50 to 43, 3:45 to go. Bird again. And a timeout called by Matty Good. 5. Charles Barkley back in the lineup. 3:36 to go in the first half. So the 76ers now go with Barkley, Tony, Steve Coulter, Roy Hinson, and Tim McCormick. And the Sixers counter with McHale and Bird, Vincent, Day, and Connor Henry. Coulter. Sam Vincent comes down with the ball for the Celtics. Chance to cut it now to 3. And they've done it.
You could see a couple minutes ago, it was starting to turn the flow of the game. We have not seen the 76ers out running in fast break situations.
When they did back in the first quarter, they jumped out to a 20-9 lead. Here's the percentage by period as the 76ers have cooled off, and Boston still at 40% after hitting 45 in the first. Andrew Toney with 8 points off the bench. Vincent gets the foul, and Toney back on the line. He's 4 of 4 from there today.
Wait for the release.
It's been a frustrating year for, I know, the 76ers front office in dealing with Andrew and trying to figure out why he's not able to play with the feet. And I know it has been for Andrew, you know, because you never know how much a person hurts unless it's you, and it's, you know, it's your feet having the problem. And Bill Walton went through that for several years in Portland and with the LA Clippers before he got to Boston, and now has the problem again.
Bird gets Barkley out of the way and misses the shot. And now Hinson with a foul underneath.
You know, it's beautiful to watch Larry Bird play basketball, and we'll see this move first, where the head fake, you cannot leave your feet. You must keep your body between the basket and Larry Bird at all times. He'll throw a million fakes at you. There's another fake, another person going up in the air and him drawing the foul. But the difference between Larry Bird and Barkley rebounding. Now, Larry Bird does not have that jumping ability, or he isn't as wide physically as Charles Barkley. But he just gets that great position, which both of them have the ability to do. And they're just outstanding rebounders. That's the first thing you must do to be a good rebounder, positioning.
Hinson on the bench now with his third foul, beg your pardon, and Cliff Robinson back in. McCormick got loose for the pass from Coulter, but didn't get there in time. Back to Robinson. McHale wants a charging foul. Didn't get it.
Charles put him in the nickel seats.
54-49, 2:12 to go before halftime. Now the two-man game. Right side. What'd you say, they got $4 million worth of talent standing out of the way here?
Surely, just with Kevin McHale standing out there, you got the $4 million worth of talent.
McHale with 16. Bird now has 20. Barkley back in the lineup after about a 6-minute rest.
Now they're just not going to let Charles get off against them, and McHale plays him as well as anybody in basketball.
Robinson gets 2. He's got 14 points in the first half.
So we see the effective bench of the 76ers with 14 from Robinson and 10 from Andrew Toney, whereas the Celtics have been struggling there.
Vincent Barkley with his 6th rebound.
Now there was the case. Charles loves to get that defensive rebound and come out on the dribble. There was a case, McHale putting some defensive pressure on him and forcing him to turn the ball over, bounce it off his foot. He should have pitched it out to Coulter and let the lead guard run the fast break.
Boston has called a 20-second timeout. They've gathered with KC Jones. Well, once again next week, we'll return to Augusta for the 1987 Masters. We'll have a highlight show for you Thursday and Friday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and full coverage of this splendid event next Saturday and Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time both days, as Jack Nicklaus goes back and tries to repeat Well, I was lucky enough to be there last year. That's one of the great thrills in sports I've ever had, to watch him win.
Yeah, and walking off with his arm around his son. I mean, that just was, everybody had to have goosebumps all over them.
Yeah, you didn't get tears at that. You don't have any emotion. Coming up at the half, the Prudential at the half with Pat O'Brien from Denver. And we're a minute 22 away from that. Larry Bird, 22.
Larry Bird.
Boy, he and McHale have just taken it upon themselves in this first half. 56-53, back to a three-point margin.
There's 21 other coaches in the league saying, well, what's new?
Barkley gets two. Under a minute. Watch Barkley at the Philadelphia offensive end.
Now the thing, watch how Charles will plant both feet and explode up to the basket, having that good position. And that's the same way he rebounds, with both feet planted on the floor, whereas you'll find a lot of rebounders will need to take that one step and then jump.
Vincent has 5 points now.
Well, he was a #1 pick a couple of years ago out of Michigan State. And I truly believe he's going to be an outstanding basketball player for the Celtic team. I think one of the problems, you know, making the adjustment, being a star in college, and now coming to a team that has a star in every position and making that adjustment. And also, I think he's more of an up-and-down player, up and down the court, whereas the Celtics are not running as much as they did in the past.
Back to Robinson. He's got 16 now off the bench. Connor Henry across the timeline for the Celtics. Back to a 5-point ball. Shot clock at 15. How about the pass from Bird? Darren Day gets 2.
That's what I mean. You know you're going to get something good out of it every time he touches the basketball. Now the 76ers will go for one shot, and what they'll do is they'll spread the court, and they'll look for Andrew Toney to either penetrate off the pick and roll or find the open man.
Robinson for 2 more. Keep feeding him. Cliff Robinson has 18 off the bench in the first half. And that's the end of the first half with our score. Philadelphia 62, the Celtics 57.
Offensive punch, and he supplied that to keep them in this ball game, scoring 22 points in that first half.
Parrish, top of the key. Robinson gets a start in the second half now for Philadelphia. McHale turnaround jumper. He's got 18 points now.
When down at the Final Four with John Havlicek, we were talking about Kevin McHale, and we decided that we have not seen a player that plays the post position that has more moves that we've seen play this professional game ever, as Kevin McHale does. We know Jabbar has that great sky hook, and that's the best shot that it's ever been in basketball. But Kevin McHale can go to his left, his right, shoot the fadeaway jump shot, put it on the floor, on and on.
If you had a vote, would you vote for him MVP?
No, I think Magic Johnson deserves that this year.
Okay.
Magic has just added other dimensions to his game and has really inspired that Laker team where they're playing the best basketball of anyone at this point in the NBA.
Off-balance shot, an air ball by Erving. Barkley gets it, puts it in.
No, that was a pass.
Oh, excuse me.
Doc saw him open underneath and just dropped it down into Charles.
Right. 64-59, 11-minute mark of the third quarter. Johnson and McHale.
Well, the thing about McHale is how hard he works for that great position. And once he gets it, now he can't believe he missed that shot.
Here's Steve Coulter hurrying down. Robinson gets a hip into the play. Travel. McHale has improved each year, and of course he's only in his second year as a starter, but look at this. And this year the points are up to 26.3, and he's shooting 61% from the field out of Hibbing, Minnesota. Parrish. McHale shoving off.
Yeah, Robert Parrish has not been able to get himself involved in the game so far. He's got to find something, either to get out on a fast break, which he does so well, or get an easy layup or get an offensive rebound to get himself into the flow of the game offensively.
Been a relatively turnover-free game so far. Now Barkley and McHale.
And that's not good for Philadelphia.
Coulter two.
Boy, he's been a pleasant surprise, because when he first got here to Philadelphia, he was not very productive. Matter of fact, he wasn't productive for the 76ers.
McHale gets away with shoving off that time.
Well, anybody that plays the pivot offensively should just watch Kevin McHale. Forget about the shot, is how hard and how he gets that great position where he is effective offensively.
Robinson goes baseline.
That was a great block by Bird there defensively, forcing Robinson to shoot that fadeaway.
Seasting with the turnover. Seasting, again, if you joined us late, is starting in place of Danny Ainge, who came down with the flu last night. So Danny did not make the trip. Timeout has been called, and we'll for halftime. That's right.
My goodness. What a terrible year he's having.
Somebody said, oh my gosh, he's only the third or fourth best player in the league now. Here's Dr. J. Off balance. Bird now has 8 rebounds. 66-61. Celtics have not led since the opening minute and a half. Trail by as many as 11. They trail by 5 at the half. But most of their offensive productivity has come out of this man and McHale.
Now we've seen 2 bad shots. One by Julius Erving at one end, and Larry Bird forcing that shot.
And since the game is in Philadelphia, the crowd gets off Larry Bird in a big way. Whoops, McCormick wasn't ready for the quick pass from Erving. That's the 7th Philadelphia turnover.
Now, the Philadelphia, right now, this is the tempo the Celtics like. Run their set offense. They have the Bird or McHale, and if they get Parrish going offensively, they're very effective. Sixers got to create the turnovers, get this game into a running up and down the court style of play.
McHale back to Johnson, quickly to Seasting. Having a tough day.
He has not hit a jump shot yet today.
Erving looks toward Robinson, finds him on the baseline. Traveling.
Yeah, what happened is Robinson went up for that shot, lost control of it, and came down with a piece of the ball, and you cannot do that. It has to hit the rim or the backboard before he can touch it again.
Larry Bird, double team, hits it anyway.
Well, we can see he's ready for the playoffs.
24 points. Bird just about at his season average. Here's Coulter. And McHale with a rebound. Johnson slows it up.
Again, we see the Celtics having an opportunity to run, but settling to run their set offense.
Seasting from the corner. And finally gets one to fall. And the Celtics are within 1.
Larry Bird was smiling at Seasting, saying, well, about time he made one of those.
11,000 of those came in his days in the American Basketball Association.
And I'm sure they'll be retiring another number of his, number 6 here in Philadelphia, not too long from now. Now we see the double team. They're just not letting Charles get started.
4 on the shot clock. Robinson off balance.
Well, we see the defense of the Boston Celtics really picking up a notch or 2. They're not allowing any easy shots. In the first period, the Sixers were able to do almost anything they wanted to do to get the good shot. Now we see them having to force things.
And Boston with the chance to go on top for the first time since the opening minutes. McCormick gets the rebound off Bird's shot. Tony is in the lineup for Philadelphia. Back to Steve Coulter. They've got Barkley, McCormick, and Cliff Robinson. Coulter right in the hands of Larry Bird, and they slow it up again.
Yep, they've taken control of the basketball game. That was one opportunity the Sixers have had for a break, and they weren't able to get it.
Jump hook from McHale. Off the feed from Larry Bird. 22 from McHale.
It's really scary sitting over here realizing that Dennis Johnson and Parrish have a total of 2 points between them, and Danny Ainge isn't even here.
Barkley. Oh, what a move.
Well, that was a great move, but McHale did exactly what he was supposed to do defensively. Force him to the middle. Jerry Seastings did not come back to give that help, and that's why he was able to go to the hole.
Larry Bird draws the foul. We're live from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. A sellout crowd here for the 6th regular season meeting between the 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Boston on top after Bird's basket, 69-68. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Bill Cunningham. And Roy Hinson back in the lineup now. Number 23 has really had a tough day. Bird gets one more. He's got 27. 70-68 Boston lead.
Now here's the two-man game, looking to isolate.
Got it.
Well, we see the difference. The last time Bird forced Robinson to shoot the fadeaway jump shot. This time Robinson was able to power it to the middle and to his right.
Cliff Robinson off the bench with 20 points now for Matty Gukas' team. Tied at 70 with 5.5 to go third quarter. Off of Larry Bird.
That's the 76ers style of play. Get out, overplay, pick off a few basketballs, get themselves out running on the court. If they're not able to run, they're just an average ball club.
Only the 6th Boston turnover so far, traveling. No, beg your pardon. Cliff Robinson picks up the foul. That's his third, and DJ's back in the lineup now for Boston.
Dennis Johnson appears to be in a lot of pain with that right shoulder. At that last timeout, he was over there getting some ice put on his shoulder.
Tony doubles down on McHale. He comes back as Johnson gets the shot, and Barkley gets the rebound. He had Tony open, never saw it. And Johnson called for the whoops. Let's see. Yep, it is. That's the first foul on Johnson, third team foul. 70-70, 4:57 to go third quarter.
Looking for an isolation with Andrew Toney.
Got it.
He is so quick, and when he's shooting that jump shot, he has as fine a first step as there is in basketball today. Now watch his first step. He just has Dennis beat right there, penetrates. Now I think Andrew Toney, a couple years ago, after he had beat Dennis Johnson, would have pulled up for the jump shot and not have gone as deep as he did. He was able to draw the foul, but he's still not the same Andrew Toney.
Perfect 7 of 7 from the line today. McHale picks up his third foul.
Well, there's only been one foul shot missed so far in this ball game, and that's by Barkley.
That's right. (72-70). McHale. 24 for Kevin McHale now. '76ers go with Tony, Coulter, Barkley, and they'll go with the...
Looking to isolate Tony again. Pick and roll this time with Barkley.
Hinson draws the foul, and we'll go to the line. Larry Bird with the foul, his first.
Well, we'll see the pick and roll, and there's going to be a switch. Dennis Johnson is going to switch down low on Barkley, and Tony goes right inside, and now we see the excellent ball movement. There's the mismatch with McHale. Andrew Toney cannot beat him. Will beat him every time with the basketball.
Oh, the free throw shooting has been extraordinary today. 74-72, 4:10 to go. Philadelphia is 18 of 19 from the line, and Boston a perfect 12 of 12. Parrish. He still has just the 2 points. And Coulter comes up with it for the 76ers. Quickly back to Tony, back to Cliff Robinson. 4 on the shot clock. Oh dear. And it all came to naught. Technical foul. Philadelphia bench. Called by Daryl Garrettson.
Well, Matty Gukas thought that Charles Barkley got fouled down here. Let's take a look and see if he did. Parrish goes straight up. Looks like, oh, he's got his left arm. So he had a reason for getting that technical foul. But the only problem is that could be just a point for the Celtics.
So Bird gets the technical. That makes it a 74-73 Philadelphia lead. Matty Gukas with the technical.
He's done an excellent job this year, you know, talking at the top about all the injuries they've had to keep this team together and keep them going in the same direction.
Johnson misfires. Hinson rebound. 3:20 to go, third quarter.
Now that's the style of play the 76ers have to have. Getting up and down the court, not allowing the Celtics to set their defense.
Barkley inbounds to Andrew Toney. Hinson. That'll be a Boston ball.
I hit him in a bad spot.
I know.
The hands.
Timeout has been 3 of 9 in this quarter. Boston 7 of 15. They've got Johnson, Seasting, Parrish with only 2 points. Bird and McHale in the lineup. Stolen by Barkley. He's got Coulter. Breakaway foul?
No, that was a great foul by Dennis Johnson. He saw Barkley. He knew that this was going to be an easy 2 points at the other end. Now watch Barkley using his quickness, because size-wise he's at a real disadvantage against Parrish. And he comes out with a dribble. Dennis Johnson knows it's going to be an easy 2 and picks up that foul.
Barkley's the only player to have missed a free throw today. He's 2 out of 3.
You know, when Charles Barkley was drafted here in Philadelphia, the one thing he said, I guarantee you I will average over 12 rebounds a game. And I'm looking at this guy, 6'4.5", saying this, weighing 284, and you say, wow, boy, there's no way in the world he's going to be able to do that. And he's surely doing it this year in the NBA.
Well, as a matter of fact, he's led this 76er team 56 games in rebounding this year, and is the #1 rebounder in the league. Seasting. Well, he's got 2 in a row now.
Now he's got his confidence back. And you know what will happen? His teammates will find him. They'll find him now knowing that he's back in gear.
76-75. Philly leads with 2:20 to go, third quarter.
Now they're looking to isolate Cliff Robinson against Bird.
Johnson comes to double team him. Robinson, fadeaway jumper. Barkley with the putback.
Put back, and he put McHale down at the same time.
Those 284 come in handy. He doesn't weigh quite that much now, but
well, he weighs around 255, and there's Charles with that quickness.
And his 10th rebound of the game.
Now watch Charles getting the position before the shot's taken. McHale tried to box him out, but that great quickness. He has that size, but his quickness is the big thing.
Robinson takes it away from McHale, and the ball is thrown away, and Barkley goes, oh boy.
He's out in the parking lot.
How's that for agility? Casey Jones saw that tightrope act and said, I want a timeout to talk about it. 4 on 2, but no one to throw to. And finally, Toney puts it off the glass. That'll drive you nuts if you're a coach.
Well, it was a mistake. That Wingate should have gotten it to Andrew Toney and let him make the decision.
McHale, count the basket.
That's a 5-point play. You have an opportunity on 4 on 2. You're supposed to score 2 points or get fouled going to the basket. Now we see Hinson just allows McHale to come down, get that good position, and when he gets that position, it's too late.
And that's the 4th foul on Roy Hinson, so McCormick is quickly back in the lineup. And Roy Hinson gets a seat. McHale with 27 points now. Kenny Green also comes in the lineup now for Philadelphia. Nope. Greg Kite is in. Tony. Nope. And McHale with a rebound. Tied at 78. Final 45 seconds of the third quarter. Johnson.
That's the first time today where Dennis Johnson looked for his offense. The only other shots he was getting were off the double team when they'd swing the basketball to him.
And that's his first field goal of the day. Andrew Toney for three. And a one-point Philadelphia lead at 81-80.
And we'll see Boston go for that last shot. They don't want to shoot the basketball until there's maybe 2-3 seconds left on that clock.
8 on the shot clock. Bird underneath. Philadelphia ball.
Went off Dennis Johnson's hand.
Boston substitution, 11, Sam Vincent.
Sam Vincent comes back in, replacing Jerry Seasting.
Watch out, here he goes.
On the line, don't score the basket.
You notice no one stepped in his path.
I guess. Back to a three-point edge now for the 76ers. Philadelphia comes in with a 41-33 record. Boston 55-20.
Now this is a big time for the bench of the Celtics. They can't lose too much ground.
Barkley with the block. Oh, boy. Tony Robinson.
Now they got to get the ball inside to McHale. He's the only real scoring threat and go into a two-man game.
That's what they've done. McHale gets knocked down. Vincent with a follow. Offensive foul.
This block would be like spiking a football after a touchdown. Boom! Unbelievable.
Well, not that the crowd has not been in it, but now they've really gotten involved. And it was the Barkley block that ignited them.
Well, I think because for the second and third period, for the most part, the Celtics had it their way with the tempo of the ball game. You know, just forcing the 76ers to set up their half-court offense, and that's not their style.
Fred Roberts in the lineup for Boston now for the first time. And there's a Philadelphia turnover. So the Celtics now have Connor Henry, Sam Vincent, Darren Day, Fred Roberts, and Greg Kite. That's the bench.
Now, seeing this lineup just tells you that at this point of the season, Casey Jones is more concerned about getting some playing time for his bench and trying to figure out who is going to be productive for him during the playoffs.
That was for two. Andrew Toney comes back and reloads. McCormick.
You're right, he's ready.
Darren Day gets the rebound for the Celtics. 85-80 with 10:05 to go on the ball game. Roberts. It's on Kite. The Boston bench now has Johnson, McHale, Bird, Parrish, Seasting, Danny Ainge, and Bill Walton not here with the team. This is not the Celtic team you grow used to seeing.
No.
Andrew Toney, 2 points. Connor Henry with a rebound. 9:40 to go in the game. Sam Vincent hollering out mix.
What that is, it's the same offense that we saw with University of Iowa. It's called a flex.
The flex.
They're screening across and screening down.
Julius Erving gets the foul. That'll be his third foul.
And we also see there was 1 second left on the 24-second clock when that foul happened.
Coulter back in, and Casey Jones says, I've seen enough. Here comes Bird, here comes McHale, here comes Parrish.
There's an official timeout. court.
So Kite is out. Bird is back in.
At USF with Bill Russell, 1956 Olympic team, 8 world championships as a player for the Celtics, and 2 as a coach here with the Celtics. And he's a guy that will never get his recognition because he has people like Larry Bird. And that guy right there, Matty Kukas, who I know so well playing with and working with for several years, he's another guy that's been able to keep things organized and keep these players going in the right direction. And talking to him, he said, the biggest problem he's had this year is practice. Going to practice and only having 6 players to try and work on things. And anybody that's coached CYO or pros or anything knows that it's very difficult to get your team prepared.
You just saw a rarity. Darren Day missed both free throws. 85-80 with 9:10 to go in the game. Barkley pointing things out.
He's out of bounds.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Wingate tried to back up and get the three-point shot, put his heel on the line. Now it's the left-hand side.
Yeah, he was too concerned with the three-point shot instead of just getting the good shot. Now you need some help on those pick and rolls with Larry Bird. And you see why.
Offensive foul. That's his second personal today. Bird has 28 points. He's got 9 rebounds and 9 assists, so he'll get the triple-double before it's all over. Now Barkley guarded by McHale. Whistle, foul away from the ball. No, illegal defense.
Illegal defense called against the Celtics. That is their second.
That's the second illegal defense.
Now the reason that illegal defense was called is Bruce Alexander felt that Vincent did not come over and double team right away. He had crossed what they call the imaginary line, dividing the court in half, and he's got to go double team aggressively, and he did not do that.
Erving gets the free throw on the technical. And it's back to a 6-point margin now. Erving with 11 points.
Now you see McHale, how he's forcing Barkley to the middle.
Oh, what a beautiful pass.
A great pass, but the rotation defensively by the Celtics. We saw Vincent coming into your picture there, just rotating down from the top and getting a piece of that pass.
Barkley having a little trouble. Jump ball.
Jump ball. Tim McCormick.
Now, what Tim McCormick has got to do with the size advantage, he's got to see where the opening is on this tip and who he's going to tip to. He should tip between Barkley and Coulter. We see right there because of that opening. And they'll just box those people out, Parrish and Connor, Henry, and let the ball almost drop.
And after all of that, Boston comes up with it.
All that great planning, and it's Vincent got a piece of it.
Connor, Henry, Sam, Vincent. They look underneath the Parrish. He has 2 points in the game.
We noticed they're not double teaming.
Motion offense. Erving gets it off the glass. 3-on-1. Connor, Henry back. Coulter over Henry.
There we saw it was a 4-on-1 situation on that break.
And an 8-point lead. 7 unanswered points now.
It's a foul on McCormick against McHale down low.
Boston wants timeout.
Boston moving down.
Matty wants an explanation of what it is. Or what it will be.
I wasn't sure who that illegal defense was on. It was either on Barkley or on Erving.
It was on Coulter, we're told, and you helped write the rule. For 3, Larry Bird gets it. 31 for Bird. Nice move by Wingate. Johnson draws the foul. shoot a couple.
Now, what happened to Dennis Johnson that time is there was poor communication with the Celtics defensively. He was isolated on that side with Wingate, and he thought someone was on the baseline ready to give him help. If he had known he had no help, he would have forced him back towards the middle, towards some help.
Wingate is perfect for the day. That's his third.
Now, probably what Matty Kukas and Julius Erving were discussing is how he was going to defend against Larry Bird. And it's very simple. The easy way to play Larry Bird is not to allow him to handle the basketball. But what he does is he runs off so many screens to get free.
There's one.
Yeah, we see the Sixers switch out on that. They're so concerned about Bird.
And Parrish finally gets a couple more. And he will also go to the line.
Well, two things went wrong that time. Julius allowed Parrish to go baseline, number one. Number two, where is the help? We see Wingate coming from into the screen. That's where Doc should have been forcing him back towards the middle, towards the help.
Cliff Robinson back into the lineup. And Julius Erving goes to the bench with 11 points and 4 fouls. And Parrish uses all of the rim and gets the free throw to fall.
I get the feeling that the Celtics feel they can turn it on at any point in this ball game. You know, well, let's let them get a 9-point lead and see if we can come back from that.
Wingate looks underneath from McCormick, takes the shot, which is short. Rebound, Dennis Johnson.
That's what David Wingate has to improve on. Defensively, he's an excellent player, and he can go to the basket, but he's got to improve that perimeter shot. Now we see what happens when they force the ball, Parrish to go to the middle.
Coulter takes it all the way. Barkley gets the rebound. Offensive foul.
That's where the 76ers miss Maurice Cheeks. Those situations, Maurice will make sure they get something good. Now watch Charles. Now the thing is, again, it's 3 against 2 offensively. Dennis Johnson getting that good position. What happened there is Barkley had Cliff Robinson wide open for the shot.
Bird, top of the key, guarded by Barkley. Robert Parrish.
Well, what they're doing now, the Celtics, they're getting the ball to Bird right there at the foul line, and McHale is screening across the lane for Parrish to try and free him open.
For the first 40 minutes of the game, Parrish had 2. He's now got 7.
He was invisible.
Skip pass. Wingate pulls up, lets a three-pointer go. Air ball.
Well, Matty Kukas is going to go with Andrew Toney. They need someone to get some offense for them. But the key for the 76ers is right now, defensively. Because if they're going to beat the Celtics, they're going to have to get out and run. And the only way you run is to create turnovers or get out and on missed shots. Not much. And he's not in the act of shooting. When a guy's getting paid, these guys are professionals. They should have that pressure put upon them. And I would love to see at some point that happen, as it is in the college game.
Think there's a chance?
No. If I suggested it, you know it's no chance.
We stay at 90. Barkley and Bird. Parrish and Robinson. Coulter comes down to help. And they spot the open man. Seasting hits it. Good ball movement that time.
You know, I remember Jerry Seastings when he first was with the Indiana Pacers. When we would play them, we would say, don't even bother with him once he gives up the basketball. Go double team anyone and don't worry about getting back to him. He could not shoot the basketball, but he's made himself into a fine professional basketball player.
Coulter, McHale has it for the Celtics. Boston with a 2-point edge and 4:14 to go. Seasting to Parrish. Barkley wants traveling.
now watch after Parrish fakes where Charles Barkley's right arm is. It's right in the middle of the back of Robert Parrish. He couldn't understand why he called the foul.
92-90, 4 minutes to go. Takes the jumper and hits it.
It's amazing how they've turned the ball to Andrew Toney.
There's Barkley. Has the ball cleanly stripped. Gets it back and puts it in. 20 points now.
There's never been an athlete to play this game like Charles Barkley. You know, there was so many comparisons made with Wes Unseld and Charles Barkley. There isn't any comparison.
Barkley has 15 rebounds. He's about to get the ball back. Well, Coulter pulls up. Now he gets it to Barkley.
He should look to post up Dennis Johnson.
Larry Bird now has the triple-double, 11 assists and 10 rebounds.
The other thing, that Wes Unseld played the pivot and could not jump or run the way Charles can. He used his head a lot better, I think, than Charles does at this point of his career.
There was something on the court. That's why the time was called. There's Parrish. Boston with a chance, or rather Philly with a chance to tie. Toney will shoot a couple. Seasting gets called for the foul. That's the first foul on Jerry Seasting.
Now, coming the other way, Vern, offensively, I would expect the Celtics, whatever they do offensively, number 33 will have his hands on the basketball. It might be a shot. It might be looking into Bird, into McHale or Parrish posted up.
That's the first one Toney has missed today. He's down 9 of 10.
Two players' hands, Andrew Toney or Charles Barkley, and they'll look to play a two-man game. It's interesting the Celtics do not double off Andrew Toney. Look at this strength, and he's going over a player that's 7 feet tall, and a player also that was first-team all-defense in the NBA. You think Charles is an emotional player?
Misfires, and all of a sudden the free throw problems have amazingly surfaced for the Philadelphia 76ers. 95-94, 1:55 to go. Bird, Barkley. Johnson gets it back. McHale, no traveling called, basket counts.
That went off McHale's hands, his chest, and back into his hands, and was able to get control.
96-95, 95 seconds to go.
You see the same play. You see Dennis Johnson is not doubling down. They're afraid of leaving Andrew Toney.
Now Johnson makes his move, and Barkley's shot is up, tipped in. McCormick or Barkley? I think it was McCormick. Officially, they're going to say Barkley.
It's just Charles' great ability and quickness jumping off both feet.
1:10. Score the basket, blocking foul.
I'll tell you. Are these games great? Now watch this move by Bird. Barkley steps over. He's just a little too late to draw the charge, and a three-point opportunity for Bird.
I'll go back to the beginning of the afternoon, Bill, and you said it may be regular season, but when these teams play, it's always like
I was involved in one game. I really wasn't concerned if we won or lost against Boston in the Boston Garden. Well, I ended up getting my jacket ripped. There were 4 fights in the ball game. Auerbach comes running out of the stands yelling at Moses Malone. There isn't a rivalry here.
No basket.
No basket.
Personal foul, Kevin McHale.
McHale draws the foul. That's number 5. And Barkley goes back to the line. The 76ers are 24 of 29.
Now this this game is more important to the 76ers than the Celtics. Why? Because this team needs to know and have that confidence that they can win, number one, in their building, and number two, they can beat a team of the caliber of the Boston Celtics.
Tie it up with 56 to go. Bird over Barkley. Rebound, Roy Hinson, who just replaced Tim McCormick.
Now, you might wonder why the Celtics took the quick shot. Because of the 24-second clock, with that quick shot, they're going to get 2 possessions, okay, of the basketball to the 76ers 1.
Shot clock shows 8. Tony, top of the key. Left side, Coulter with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Rebound, Robinson.
They got a foul. They've got a foul.
And Barkley hurries over to Bruce Alexander.
Be on the court to set his defense. 5 seconds.
Isolation play. Triple team and stripped to the ball, jump ball. But time is out.
Excellent defense by the Celtics. They came to help at exactly the right time. If they came too early, it would have been an easy shot. Excellent preparation.
That will follow as soon as we conclude our game here. Charles Barkley back in the lineup. Double down. Johnson and McHale gets it back to Wingate, who hits the jumper.
Big shot. He missed that. Celtics come down and score. I don't know if they could have overcome that 7-point difference. But now it stands as a 3-point difference.
McHale has it stolen away by Barkley. 3-on-2. That looked a little discombobulated, but it worked.
Well, that's one of the problems when you have your forward taking it the length of the court. I always believed in you pay the guard to handle the ball, and I love to see the way Barkley comes out with it, but then dish it off to a guard. Let the guard give it back to Barkley to finish off the play.
Johnson for McHale. 104-103 at the 3-minute mark. Parrish. Really been cold today.
I'll tell you, Charles Barkley, though, has been playing inspired basketball out here this afternoon.
Chance for the 76ers to go on top. Barkley with 17 rebounds.
Gotta shoot it.
Hinson didn't want the shot. Johnson and McHale.
If there isn't a foul in that situation, that ball should go to the Celtics because the 24-second clock ran out. That's what happened, Bert.
Yep.
Now, that was a poor trip down the court for the 76ers offensively. And that's where Steve Coulter's got to make sure that whatever set play they run it, they execute it, and get the good shot. That last time they were just disoriented out there.
2:17 to go in the game. Travel. (16) Boston turnovers, 21.
Barkley's walking down the court yelling at his teammates, hey, give it to me, pointing at his chest. Give me the ball.
McCormick is going to do just that.
He got his wish. Now, what do you do with it?
Seasting comes over to double with it.
That wasn't good. They didn't swing the ball quick enough and allowed the Celtics to rotate defensively. 5 seconds again.
McCormick, no. Loose ball foul.
Loose on McCormick.
And Boston wants timeout. And the 76ers have Wingate and Coulter, along with Barkley, Roy Hinson, and Tim McCormick. Bird for 3 more. McCormick saves it for Philadelphia.
I can't imagine K.C. Jones diagramming that play out of that timeout.
I'd be willing to bet he didn't. Now the two-man game on the right side. Barkley, McHale backs away. Barkley takes it through the double team, up, tips it in. Oh, wow!
He was out of bounds, came back and was able to tip that in. You know, for Charles Barkley to truly become a superstar in this league, he's got to learn to hit the 15-foot jump shot. And that's what he should work on all summer.
One minute. Double team from Wingate, back to Johnson, the open man, no. And the rebound from Coulter.
Wingate was wide open down the court. He just wasn't able to see him when Dennis Johnson stepped in his path. Guess where the ball's going.
McHale backs away and gives him the shot. McCormick traveled.
See, that's two things. Number one, that's a rookie. Number two, it's confidence. When that ball is swung to you, you should be in position already to go up and shoot it, not to put it back on the floor.
So the 22nd Philadelphia turnover gives the Celtics a chance for the lead. McHale, fall away, turnaround, jump shot. Tipped out.
Foul on Parrish. Definitely know that either they have to go for the steal, the Celtics, or foul.
Okay. They foul Hinson.
I got that one right.
Nice call.
Thanks, babe.
Hinson hitting 76% of his free throws. And the foul comes with 16 seconds to go. Philadelphia 26 of 31 as a team from the line. And Hinson is perfect, 4 of 4 so far today.
They fouled the right man. He's got to make this one.
Don't forget the Lakers in Denver. That's coming up next as we give you an NBA doubleheader on CBS.
See, this is the example I was talking about. Wouldn't it be great, the one-on-one?
Absolutely. Now the
Celtics got to get right into that set offensively.
Larry Bird with Barkley draped all over it.
5 seconds left.
Backs in. Off balance, fall away, not there. It's over, and the 76ers have won it. So the two teams split the season series at 3 apiece. And try telling somebody here the game didn't mean anything.
Now, watch the defensive pressure applied by Barkley. That was the reason they won that game against that shot.
And watch Matty Gukas as Bird takes the final shot. Men, we're heading this way. Our Miller Lite player of the game is Charles Barkley. 28 points and 18 rebounds, 8 on the offensive board, 4 blocks, and a big defensive play at the end. Light beer from Miller is proud to present a check for $1,000 on behalf of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. For Billy Cunningham, this is Vern Lundquist saying so long.